106 degrees in Phoenix in March. That is not a typo. That is not July. That is next week. And while the desert Southwest bakes under temperatures that have never been recorded this early in the year, a massive Arctic blast is about to slam the eastern half of the United States with temperatures 25 to 30 degrees below normal. Snow is falling right now in places like Pennsylvania and Ohio, and the models are showing more snowstorms coming, potentially all the way into late March, for cities that thought winter was over. This is the most extreme coast-to-coast weather split we have seen in years, and if you live anywhere in America right now, what happens in the next 10 days could directly impact your safety, your travel plans, and your daily life. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I am going to break down exactly what is coming city by city, hour by hour, for more than 270 locations across the United States. And here is my promise to you. By the 5-minute mark of this video, you will know exactly when the storms hit your area, when they peak, and when they end. No guessing, no vague forecasts, specific timing for your city. But first, let me tell you something that caught even the forecasters off guard. The European model, which is generally considered the most reliable long-range forecast model in the world, is now showing snowfall opportunities for areas in the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and even cities like Philadelphia, New York City, and areas just north of Washington, District of Columbia, in late March. 2 to 6 inches for many of these areas. Some spots could see 6 to 10 inches across 1 or 2 snowfall events. Meanwhile, Phoenix is about to shatter its earliest ever 100-degree day on record. The old record was March 26th. They are expecting to break it on March 18th. That is 8 days earlier than anything ever recorded. Now, before we go any further, drop a comment right now with your city and state. I read every single comment, and I will personally respond with the specific forecast for your area. Whether you are in Miami, Minneapolis, Denver, Dallas, Seattle, or anywhere in between, tell me where you are, and I will get you your forecast. The more specific you are, the better I can help you. Let us start with what is happening right now, today, March 17th, because the current conditions set the stage for everything that is about to unfold. A large polar high-pressure system is currently sitting over the lower Mississippi River Valley. This is the engine driving the cold air across the eastern United States. Temperatures this morning dropped into the teens and 20s all the way down through the Midwest. West Virginia is sitting in the 20s. Parts of western Virginia are in the 20s. The Carolinas and northern Alabama are hovering around the low 40s. Oklahoma saw freezing conditions this morning. The Dallas-Fort Worth area dropped to freezing. Even the Woodlands and Houston, Texas flirted with frost. That cold axis, if you could draw a line through the coldest air, runs right through the heart of the eastern states, and it is gradually shifting eastward toward the coast. The good news is this particular blast of cold will begin to moderate. The bad news is it is not the last one. Now here is where it gets really interesting, and this is something you need to pay close attention to. Out west, the exact opposite is happening. A massive upper-level high-pressure system has built over the southwestern United States. At 18,000 feet, we are seeing a 591 decameter closed high center just northwest of Los Angeles, near San Luis Obispo. By Wednesday and Thursday, that high intensifies to 594 decameters. That is extreme for any time of year. For March, it is almost unheard of. The polar front jet stream, which normally keeps Arctic air bottled up to the north, has retreated all the way up to British Columbia and the Dakotas. There is nothing to stop this heat from building and building. Let me give you the city-by-city breakdown for the heat wave first, because the numbers are genuinely historic. Phoenix, Arizona. 106 degrees expected this week. The earliest 100-degree day ever recorded in Phoenix was March 26th. They are going to blow past that by more than a week. Yuma, Arizona. 107 degrees. That is July heat in the middle of March. Reno, Nevada. 86 degrees by Wednesday. The all-time March record for Reno is 83 degrees. That record is gone. Winnemucca, Nevada. 83 degrees, breaking the all-time March record of 82. And then 85 on both Thursday and Friday. Tonopah, Nevada, 86 degrees, absolutely demolishing the old March record of 79. That is a 7-degree margin. Records do not usually break by 7 degrees. Las Vegas, Nevada. Temperatures this week will break March records at, and I quote the National Weather Service here, many stations across the forecast area. The extreme heat warning covers 103 to 109 degrees, Los Angeles and the San Fernando Valley. Extreme heat warnings in effect through Friday. Temperatures of 96 to 104 degrees. Santa Barbara, same situation. San Luis Obispo, same. These warnings extend across much of the inland coastal areas of Southern California. San Francisco, California, 84 degrees. The Sonoma Valley hits 90. Ukiah reaches 94. The San Joaquin Valley will see low 90s. Now, let me pause here because I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, okay, it is hot in the desert. That is not exactly news. But listen to me carefully. These are not just above average temperatures. These are all-time records for the entire month of March being shattered by significant margins. When Tonopah breaks its March record by 7 degrees, when Phoenix sees 106 8 days before the earliest triple-digit day ever recorded, that is not just a warm spell. That is a fundamental shift in the pattern that has consequences for the entire country. And here is why. That extreme heat out west is part of a massive ridge of high pressure. And on the other side of that ridge, like a seesaw, the eastern United States gets the opposite. Cold troughs diving southward one after another. The hotter it gets out west, the colder it gets in the east. That is the pattern we are locked into, and it is going to define the rest of March. Do not skip ahead because the severe weather section is coming up shortly, and if you live anywhere from Texas to the Great Lakes, you need to hear the timing on that. But first, let me walk you through the cold side of this pattern day by day. Today, March 17th. The Arctic blast is at peak intensity across the eastern states. The Midwest and Ohio Valley are running 25 to 30 degrees below normal. That is not a typo. 30 degrees below where you should be in mid-March. The Great Lakes region, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast are 10 to 20 degrees below normal. Snow showers are falling right now across a massive swath from Quebec down through Michigan, all the way down the Appalachian Mountains, and across Pennsylvania. Here is what is fascinating about those snow showers. At 18,000 feet, the temperatures over Pennsylvania and Ohio are minus 30 to minus 36 degrees Celsius. That is extraordinarily cold for the mid-levels of the atmosphere. When you combine that with relatively warmer conditions at the surface, you get what meteorologists call steep lapse rates. The atmosphere becomes incredibly unstable, and the result is intense convective snow showers. They hit about every 15 to 20 minutes, blustery, sometimes heavy, and definitely a taste of winter that nobody expected in mid-March. Station reports are showing snow at nearly half of all reporting stations across Pennsylvania, Ohio, and the surrounding areas. State College, Pennsylvania radar is lit up with snow showers. The dry air being pulled into the updrafts is weakening some of the cells, but if you are in that zone, you know it feels like January. Now here is the day-by-day progression for the cold and snow. Wednesday, March 18th. The trough weakens slightly and centers directly over the eastern states. It is less wide than today, but still delivering cold air. Snow showers continue for the northern plains and upper Midwest, some mixing of snow and rain possible as far south as Kentucky and Tennessee. Yes, snow mixing with rain in Kentucky and Tennessee in mid-March. A weak band of snow showers currently near Minneapolis will track southeast into Illinois and gradually weaken, possibly reaching the Ohio River. Cities affected Wednesday: Minneapolis, Minnesota, lingering snow showers early, then diminishing. Chicago, Illinois, a few flurries possible as the Clipper energy passes through. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, snow showers diminishing through the day. Detroit, Michigan, lake effect snow showers continue. Cleveland, Ohio, snow showers tapering. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, snow showers ending. Buffalo, New York, lake effect snow continues. Syracuse, New York, snow showers. Louisville, Kentucky, rain and snow mix. Lexington, Kentucky, rain and snow mix. Nashville, Tennessee, rain with possible wet snow mixing. Knoxville, Tennessee, rain and snow mix near the Smoky Mountains. Thursday, March 19th. The trough recedes further. A large ridge becomes dominant across the center of the country. The cold relaxes somewhat for the Midwest and Ohio Valley, but the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast remain below normal. A Clipper system brings snow showers to the northern edge. Affected areas include northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and the far northern Great Lakes region. Friday, March 20th. The spring equinox arrives during the morning hours, officially the start of spring. And yet another round of Clipper energy moves over the Great Lakes. This is the northern stuff. If you are in Duluth, Marquette, Sault Ste. Marie, Traverse City, or along the northern Great Lakes shoreline, expect more snow showers. The rest of the eastern states begin a warming trend heading into the weekend. Now here is where I need you to pay very close attention, because the weekend is a turning point. Saturday, March 21st, warming continues. Many areas that were 30 degrees below normal will finally start to approach seasonal temperatures. Enjoy it. I am not being dramatic when I say enjoy it because it does not last. Sunday, March 22nd. This is the plot twist. A new trough rolls in. But this is not your typical west to east weather system. This one features a backdoor cold front moving from north to south. That is unusual. Most cold fronts sweep from west to east across the country. This one drives straight down from Canada. A strong, low-pressure system develops over Virginia. Snowfall breaks out across the northern Ohio Valley, the northern Mid-Atlantic, parts of Michigan, and New York State. And then overnight Sunday into Monday, this system slides southward, bringing snowfall to southeastern Pennsylvania, central and northern New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, and southern New England. Let me say that again because I know it sounds unbelievable. Snowfall for New York City, Long Island, central New Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania, and southern New England on March 22nd and 23rd. Cities to watch for Sunday night into Monday. New York City, New York, snow developing overnight. Newark, New Jersey, snow. Trenton, New Jersey, snow. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, snow possible especially northern and western suburbs. Hartford, Connecticut, snow. Providence, Rhode Island, snow. Boston, Massachusetts, snow possible especially southern suburbs. Long Island, New York, snow. White Plains, New York, snow. Stamford, Connecticut, snow. The European model is showing 2 to 6 inches for many of these areas. That is plowable snow in late March for the Interstate 95 corridor. When was the last time you heard that? Further west, as this system expands southward, areas in the Smoky Mountains and the lower Mid-Atlantic could see thunderstorm activity or heavier rain showers. Asheville, North Carolina, heavy showers and possible thunder. Knoxville, Tennessee, thunderstorm chances. Roanoke, Virginia, heavy showers. Charlottesville, Virginia, heavy rain possible. Now, I told you at the beginning that I would give you the specific timing, and I am delivering on that promise right now. For the Sunday night snowstorm in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, here is the timing breakdown. Snow begins late Sunday afternoon to early Sunday evening for upstate New York, northern Pennsylvania, and western New England, spreading south and east Sunday evening through areas like Scranton, Allentown, the Poconos, and the Hudson Valley. Reaching New York City, northern New Jersey, Long Island, and southern Connecticut by late Sunday night, around 10 at night to midnight. Extending into Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts by early Monday morning. Snow peaks, overnight Sunday into early Monday morning. Heaviest snow rates expected between midnight and 6 in the morning for the New York City metro area, northern New Jersey, and southern New England. Snow ends Monday morning for most areas, tapering from west to east. Western areas like Pittsburgh and central Pennsylvania see it end first by early Monday morning. Eastern areas like Boston and Cape Cod could see snow lingering into Monday afternoon. Monday, March 23rd, and Tuesday, March 24th. Colder air prevails across the eastern states after the Sunday night system. Not as dramatic as the current Arctic blast, but below normal. Activity quiets down for a couple of days. Cities and temperatures for Monday and Tuesday. New York City, highs in the mid-30s. Boston, highs around 32 to 35. Philadelphia, highs around 36 to 38. Washington, District of Columbia, highs around 40. Pittsburgh, highs around 33 to 35. Detroit, highs around 35. Chicago, warming into the low 40s. Atlanta, highs in the mid-50s. Charlotte, highs around 50. Now here comes the next big system, and this is where the severe weather enters the picture. Do not miss this section if you live anywhere from Texas to the Great Lakes, Wednesday, March 25th through Friday, March 27th. A powerful new Pacific storm system dives into the western states. This pushes the 540 decameter thickness line all the way down to Salt Lake City. That is significant because it means a deep trough is carving into the western states, and that trough is going to generate a major storm system across the central United States. Here is the severe weather timeline. Monday, March 23rd. A strong outbreak of cold air pushes across the central United States and stalls just short of the Gulf Coast. Moisture begins to pool along the stalled front across the Gulf states. Clouds and areas of rain develop across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Behind the front, the cold air holds firm. Tuesday, March 24th, a wave develops along the back end of the front. A low-level jet begins to form 20 to 30 knots, stretching from Abilene, Texas to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This low-level jet is the moisture highway. It is pulling warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico northward. But there is a pocket of dry air trying to interfere. This is what creates the uncertainty in the forecast. The low-level jet strengthens Tuesday night to 55 knots from Abilene to Oklahoma City. Moisture surges northward. Wednesday, March 25th. This is the day to watch. The low-level jet intensifies to 70 knots. That is a screaming 70-knot low-level jet from Abilene through Oklahoma City through Tulsa and into Missouri. An 850 millibar warm front sets up across the Midwest. A cold front extends southwestward. An occlusion extends northward into Manitoba. The triple point where those three boundaries meet sits right over the Central Plains. This is a classic severe weather setup. The moisture, the wind shear, the instability, the forcing mechanisms, they are all lining up. The most likely area for severe weather on Wednesday: Omaha, Nebraska; Des Moines, Iowa; Kansas City, Missouri; Tulsa, Oklahoma; Oklahoma City, Oklahoma; Springfield, Missouri; Columbia, Missouri; Topeka, Kansas; Wichita, Kansas; and possibly points to the east, including St. Louis, Missouri, and Springfield, Illinois. Now, here is an important detail. The better moisture on the models is actually showing up in Illinois and Missouri, not as much out to the west. There is evidence of dry plateau air from Mexico and New Mexico contaminating the air mass in western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. This could limit severe weather potential in those areas while enhancing it further north and east. Severe weather timing for Wednesday, March 25th. Morning. The warm sector expands. Temperatures climb into the 60s and low 70s across Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Oklahoma. Dew points rise into the upper 50s and low 60s. The atmosphere destabilizes. Early afternoon, 1 to 3 in the afternoon Central Time. Initial thunderstorm development along the warm front across Iowa and Missouri. This is where the first supercells could form. Late afternoon, 3 to 6 in the afternoon Central Time. Storms intensify and spread. The most dangerous window for severe weather, including large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Evening, 6 to 9 at night Central Time. Storms evolve into a squall line and push eastward across Illinois, Indiana, and possibly into western Ohio. Overnight into Thursday. The squall line continues east, weakening but still capable of damaging winds. Cities that need to be on alert for Wednesday severe weather: Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, afternoon storms possible; Tulsa, Oklahoma, afternoon and evening storms; Wichita, Kansas, afternoon storms; Topeka, Kansas, afternoon storms; Kansas City, Missouri, late afternoon to evening; Omaha, Nebraska, afternoon to evening; Des Moines, Iowa, afternoon to evening; Springfield, Missouri, late afternoon; Columbia, Missouri, evening; St. Louis, Missouri, evening to overnight; Springfield, Illinois, overnight; Peoria, Illinois, overnight; Indianapolis, Indiana, late overnight into Thursday morning; Davenport, Iowa, evening; Cedar Rapids, Iowa, late afternoon to evening Thursday, March 26th. The system pushes eastward. A strong low pressure develops near Hudson Bay with a cold front stretching southward. Snow develops across northeastern New England. The cold front brings thunderstorm chances to the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and potentially the Northeast. Cities affected Thursday: Columbus, Ohio, morning storms; Cincinnati, Ohio, morning storms; Dayton, Ohio, morning; Cleveland, Ohio, midday; Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, afternoon; Detroit, Michigan, midday to afternoon; Toledo, Ohio, late morning; Fort Wayne, Indiana, morning; Grand Rapids, Michigan, midday; Lexington, Kentucky, morning; Charleston, West Virginia, afternoon; Richmond, Virginia, late afternoon to evening; Baltimore, Maryland, evening; Washington, District of Columbia, evening; Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, late evening; New York City, overnight into Friday. Now here is another twist that nobody saw coming. On the back side of this cold front, as the colder air pours in, the European model is showing another round of snowfall for the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Mid-Atlantic. The cold front is moving almost directly southward, which is unusual, and as it passes, the cold air fills in rapidly. By late Thursday into Friday, March 27th, snowfall develops for the Great Lakes. Lake effect snow machines fire up across Michigan, northern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania, and western New York. Additional snowfall along the Appalachians, cities that could see snow Thursday night into Friday. Buffalo, New York, 3 to 5 inches possible with lake effect. Syracuse, New York, 2 to 4 inches. Rochester, New York, 2 to 4 inches. Erie, Pennsylvania, 3 to 5 inches. Cleveland, Ohio, 1 to 3 inches. Akron, Ohio, 1 to 3 inches. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1 to 2 inches. Columbus, Ohio, a coating to 1 inch. Wheeling, West Virginia, 1 to 2 inches. But wait, the pattern does not stop there. The European model continues to show cold air dominance in the east and warmth in the west. And another system develops, late next week into the following weekend. An even more impressive cold air outbreak settles into the eastern states. The European model shows this cold lasting 5 or more days. Temperatures plunge well below normal again from the Great Lakes through the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. And within that cold air, yet another storm system tries to develop. The European model shows a low pressure forming and bringing snowfall to West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Maryland, areas very close to Washington, District of Columbia, New Jersey, and southern Pennsylvania. This one is far enough out that the details could change significantly, but the signal is there on the reliable European model, and it is worth watching. Now let me circle back to the heat wave out west because I need to give you the full timeline on that as well. The heat wave timeline for the Southwest. Tuesday, March 17th through Wednesday, March 18th. Heat builds rapidly. Phoenix pushes toward 106. Yuma approaches 107. Las Vegas, Reno, and cities across Nevada begin shattering March records. Thursday, March 19th and Friday, March 20th. Peak of the heat wave. This is the hottest period. Phoenix at 106, Yuma at 107. Extreme heat warnings across the southwestern deserts, 103 to 109 degrees. Los Angeles inland valleys, 96 to 104. San Joaquin Valley, low 90s. San Francisco, 84. Sonoma Valley, 90. Ukiah, 94. The Montana heat wave. A completely separate heat event driven by downslope Chinook winds. Temperatures soar through the week. By Friday, Graybull, Wyoming hits 83 degrees, which would set an all-time March record. The current record is 81. Widespread 40 to 50 knot wind gusts across Montana through midweek with a second round Thursday and Friday, 50 to 60 miles per hour near Cutbank and Browning northwest of Great Falls. 30 to 40 miles per hour common elsewhere. Cities in Montana affected by wind and heat. Great Falls, Montana, high winds and warming through the week, 70s by Friday. Billings, Montana, 70s by midweek. Helena, Montana, warming into the 60s and 70s. Missoula, Montana, windy and warm. Kalispell, Montana, gusty with above normal temperatures. Haverhill, Montana, strong winds near the Canadian border, 50 to 60 miles per hour gusts. Saturday, March 21st. The heat begins to moderate from west to east. California starts to cool slightly. The core of extreme heat shifts into Arizona. Phoenix still around 104 to 105. Las Vegas begins a slow cool down. Sunday, March 22nd. Significant improvement for California. Phoenix drops to around 103. The Pacific storm system begins to approach Oregon and California, bringing stormy conditions to the northwest. Monday, March 23rd. Temperatures across the southwest push back towards seasonal normals. Phoenix around 100, which is still well above the normal of 82, but a significant improvement from 106. Strong upper-level winds up to 170 knots off the Oregon coast. Very stormy conditions develop across Oregon and Washington. A return to winter for the Pacific Northwest. Cities in the Northwest affected by the incoming storm. Portland, Oregon, rain and dropping temperatures by the weekend. Seattle, Washington, rain and wind returning. Bend, Oregon, snow possible at elevation. Boise, Idaho, rain transitioning to mountain snow. Spokane, Washington, cooling with rain and mountain snow. Medford, Oregon, significant cool down from the weekend warmth. Now I want to give you a comprehensive state-by-state breakdown because I know many of you are watching from specific areas and you want to know exactly what to expect. I promised you more than 270 cities, and here they come. Texas. The Lone Star State is transitioning from the cold to extreme heat. Dallas, highs rebounding into the 80s Wednesday, 90s by Thursday. Fort Worth, same progression. Houston, warming to 80 by Wednesday, upper 80s by Thursday. San Antonio, 80s Wednesday, low 90s Thursday and Friday. Austin, same trajectory. Amarillo, warming but windy, 70s by Thursday. Lubbock, 70s to low 80s. Midland and Odessa approaching 90 by Friday. El Paso, mid-90s. Abilene, upper 80s by Thursday, possible thunderstorms by midweek next week. Corpus Christi, warming to the mid-80s. Brownsville, low 80s. Laredo, low 90s by Friday. Waco, upper 80s. Tyler, low 80s. Beaumont, upper 70s. College Station, low 80s. Fort Stockton could hit 100 degrees by Saturday. Childress, 94 by Thursday, approaching 100 by Saturday. Florida, relatively mild through the week. Miami, mid-70s, rising to low 80s. Fort Lauderdale, same. West Palm Beach, upper 70s. Orlando, upper 70s to low 80s. Tampa, upper 70s. Jacksonville, upper 60s to low 70s. Cooler than normal early in the week. Tallahassee, low 70s. Pensacola, upper 60s to low 70s. Naples, upper 70s. Key West, low 80s. Gainesville, low 70s. Daytona Beach, upper 70s. Fort Myers, upper 70s. Georgia, Atlanta, cool start to the week with mid-50s, warming to mid-60s by the weekend. Savannah, upper 60s. Augusta, low 60s. Macon, mid-60s. Columbus, mid-60s. Athens, low 60s. Albany, upper 60s. Valdosta, upper 60s. The Carolinas. Charlotte, North Carolina, around 50 today, warming to mid-60s by the weekend. Raleigh, low 50s to upper 50s. Asheville, upper 40s. Watch for heavy showers Sunday. Wilmington, upper 50s. Greensboro, low 50s. Durham, low 50s. Fayetteville, upper 50s. Charleston, South Carolina, upper 50s to low 60s. Columbia, low 60s. Greenville, low 50s. Myrtle Beach, upper 50s. Hilton Head, upper 50s. Virginia. Richmond, low 50s rising through the week, then thunderstorms possible Thursday. Norfolk, mid-50s. Virginia Beach, mid-50s. Roanoke, upper 40s. Heavy showers possible Sunday. Charlottesville, upper 40s. Rain possible Sunday. Arlington and the District of Columbia Metro, low 50s, snowfall possible next weekend per European model. Lynchburg, upper 40s. Winchester, upper 40s. Fredericksburg, low 50s. Harrisonburg, upper 40s. Maryland and Delaware. Baltimore, low 50s. Thunderstorms possible Thursday evening, possible late-season snow next weekend. Annapolis, low 50s. Frederick, upper 40s. Hagerstown, upper 40s. Ocean City, low 50s. Dover, Delaware, low 50s. Wilmington, Delaware, upper 40s. Snow possible Sunday night. New Jersey. Newark, upper 40s. Snow Sunday night, 2 to 4 inches possible on the European model. Trenton, upper 40s. Same snow potential. Atlantic City, low 50s. Jersey City, upper 40s. Patterson, upper 40s. Princeton, upper 40s. Snow likely Sunday night. New York. New York City, upper 40s. Snow developing Sunday night with 2 to 6 inches possible on the European model. Albany, low 40s. Snow possible. Syracuse, upper 30s, additional lake effect snow late next week. Buffalo, upper 30s, lake effect snow 3 to 5 inches possible late next week. Rochester, upper 30s, lake effect chances. Binghamton, upper 30s, snow Sunday night. White Plains, upper 40s, snow Sunday night. Poughkeepsie, low 40s. Utica, upper 30s. Plattsburgh, low 30s. Ithaca, upper 30s. Long Island, upper 40s, snow Sunday night. Connecticut. Hartford, upper 40s, snow Sunday night into Monday. New Haven, upper 40s, snow likely Sunday night. Bridgeport, upper 40s. Stamford, upper 40s, 2 to 4 inches possible. Danbury, mid-40s. Waterbury, mid-40s, Massachusetts. Boston, upper 40s, snow possible Sunday night into Monday morning. Worcester, mid-40s, snow likely. Springfield, mid-40s, snow likely. Cape Cod, upper 40s, snow possible late, lingering into Monday afternoon. Pittsfield, low 40s, snowfall Sunday night. Rhode Island, Providence, upper 40s, snow Sunday night into Monday. Newport, upper 40s. Warwick, upper 40s. Other New England, Burlington, Vermont, low 30s. Snow Sunday into Monday. Montpelier, Vermont, upper 20s. Portland, Maine, low 40s. Snow chances late Sunday. Bangor, Maine, upper 30s. Concord, New Hampshire, low 40s. Snow Sunday night. Manchester, New Hampshire, low 40s. Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, upper 40s. Snow possible Sunday night. 2 to 4 inches on European model. Pittsburgh, low 40s, snow showers today, more snow late next week. Harrisburg, mid-40s. Scranton, low 40s, snow Sunday night. Allentown, mid-40s, snow Sunday night. Erie, upper 30s. Lake effect snow late next week, 3 to 5 inches. State College, snow showers today, more possible later. Reading, mid-40s. Lancaster, mid-40s. Williamsport, upper 30s. York, mid-40s. Ohio. Columbus, upper 30s. Snow showers today. Morning storms Thursday. Cleveland, mid-30s. Snow showers today. 1 to 3 inches late next week. Cincinnati, low 40s. Morning storms Thursday. Akron, mid-30s. Snow showers today. 1 to 3 inches late next week. Dayton, upper 30s. Morning storms Thursday. Toledo, mid-30s, late morning storms Thursday. Youngstown, mid-30s. Canton, mid-30s. Zanesville, upper 30s. Michigan, Detroit, mid-30s, midday storms Thursday. Grand Rapids, mid-30s, midday storms Thursday. Lansing, mid-30s. Ann Arbor, mid-30s. Flint, low 30s. Kalamazoo, mid-30s. Traverse City, upper 20s. Snow showers continuing. Marquette, 20s. Snow showers ongoing. Sault Ste. Marie, 20s. Lake effect snow, Indiana. Indianapolis, upper 30s. Storms arriving late overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. Fort Wayne, mid-30s. Storms Thursday morning. Evansville, low 40s. South Bend, mid-30s. Bloomington, upper 30s. Terre Haute, upper 30s. Muncie, mid-30s. Lafayette, mid-30s. Illinois. Chicago, low 40s. Storms possible overnight Wednesday. Springfield, upper 30s. Overnight storms Wednesday. Peoria, upper 30s. Overnight storms Wednesday. Rockford, low 40s. Champaign, upper 30s. Decatur, upper 30s. Bloomington, upper 30s. Carbondale, mid-40s. Quad Cities and Davenport, upper 30s. Evening storms Wednesday, Iowa. Des Moines, upper 30s. Afternoon to evening, severe storms Wednesday. Cedar Rapids, upper 30s. Late afternoon to evening storms. Davenport, upper 30s. Evening storms. Sioux City, upper 30s. Waterloo, upper 30s. Iowa City, upper 30s. Dubuque, upper 30s. Ames, upper 30s. Council Bluffs, upper 30s. Missouri, Kansas City, low 40s. Late afternoon to evening, severe storms Wednesday. St. Louis, low 40s. Evening to overnight storms Wednesday. Springfield, low 40s, late afternoon storms. Columbia, low 40s, evening storms. Jefferson City, low 40s. Joplin, low 40s. Cape Girardeau, mid-40s. St. Joseph, upper 30s, Kansas. Wichita, mid-40s, afternoon severe storms Wednesday. Topeka, low 40s, afternoon storms. Kansas City, Kansas, low 40s. Manhattan, low 40s. Lawrence, low 40s. Dodge City, upper 40s. Salina, low 40s. Hutchinson, low 40s. Nebraska, Omaha, upper 30s, afternoon to evening severe storms Wednesday. Lincoln, upper 30s. Grand Island, upper 30s. North Platte, upper 30s. Kearney, upper 30s. Scottsbluff, upper 30s. Oklahoma City, mid-40s. Afternoon storms possible Wednesday, but dry air could limit activity. Tulsa, mid-40s, afternoon and evening storms. Norman, mid-40s. Lawton, mid-40s. Enid, mid-40s. Stillwater, mid-40s. Muskogee, mid-40s. Broken Arrow, mid-40s. Minnesota. Minneapolis, upper 20s. Snow showers tonight. St. Paul, upper 20s. Duluth, low 20s, snow showers. Rochester, upper 20s. St. Cloud, upper 20s. Mankato, upper 20s. Moorhead, upper 20s. Bemidji, teens. Wisconsin. Milwaukee, low 30s. Madison, low 30s. Green Bay, upper 20s. Appleton, upper 20s. Eau Claire, upper 20s. La Crosse, low 30s. Oshkosh, upper 20s. Kenosha, low 30s. Racine, low 30s. Wausau, upper 20s. The Dakotas. Fargo, North Dakota, upper 20s. Bismarck, low 30s. Grand Forks, upper 20s. Minot, low 30s. Rapid City, South Dakota, low 40s. Sioux Falls, low 30s. Pierre, mid-30s. Aberdeen, upper 20s. West Virginia. Charleston, mid-40s. Afternoon storms Thursday. Huntington, mid-40s. Morgantown, upper 30s. Wheeling, upper 30s. Snow late next week. Parkersburg, upper 30s. Beckley, upper 30s. Potential snow late next week. Martinsburg, low 40s. Kentucky. Louisville, low 40s. Rain and snow mix Wednesday. Lexington, low 40s. Rain and snow mix Wednesday. Morning storms Thursday. Bowling Green, mid-40s. Owensboro, low 40s. Paducah, mid-40s. Covington, low 40s. Tennessee. Nashville, mid-40s. Rain with snow mix Wednesday. Memphis, mid-50s. Knoxville, mid-40s. Heavy showers Sunday, thunderstorm chances. Chattanooga, upper 40s. Clarksville, mid-40s. Johnson City, upper 30s. Possible snow mixing. Alabama. Birmingham, upper 50s. Montgomery, low 60s. Huntsville, mid-50s. Mobile, mid-60s. Tuscaloosa, upper 50s. Dothan, low 60s. Mississippi. Jackson, upper 50s. Gulfport, mid-60s. Hattiesburg, low 60s. Tupelo, mid-50s. Meridian, upper 50s. Biloxi, mid-60s. Louisiana. New Orleans, mid-60s. Baton Rouge, low 60s. Shreveport, upper 50s. Warming rapidly through the week. Lafayette, mid-60s. Lake Charles, mid-60s. Monroe, upper 50s. Alexandria, low 60s. Arkansas. Little Rock, low 50s, rising to 70s by the weekend. Fayetteville, upper 40s. Fort Smith, low 50s. Pine Bluff, mid-50s. Jonesboro, low 50s. Hot Springs, low 50s. Texarkana, mid-50s, the Mountain West. Denver, Colorado, low 50s, relatively quiet week. Colorado Springs, upper 40s. Boulder, low 50s. Fort Collins, low 50s. Pueblo, mid-50s. Grand Junction, upper 50s. Albuquerque, New Mexico, upper 60s. Santa Fe, upper 50s. Las Cruces, upper 70s. Tucson, Arizona, mid-90s, approaching 100. Flagstaff, Arizona, upper 50s. Salt Lake City, Utah, upper 50s initially. Significant cool-down late next week as the 540 decameter line drops south. Provo, Utah, mid-50s. Boise, Idaho, upper 50s now. Storm system arriving by the weekend. The Pacific Northwest. Portland, Oregon, mid-50s. Stormy conditions returning by the weekend with strong upper-level winds. Seattle, Washington, upper 40s to low 50s. Rain and wind returning. Olympia, low 50s. Tacoma, low 50s. Eugene, Oregon, mid-50s. Salem, Oregon, mid-50s. Spokane, Washington, upper 40s. Cooling with mountain snow. Yakima, upper 50s. Bellingham, upper 40s. Bend, Oregon, low 50s. Mountain snow possible. Northern California. Sacramento, upper 70s to low 80s through Friday, then cooling. Redding, upper 70s. Fresno, mid-80s. Bakersfield, mid-80s. Stockton, upper 70s. Modesto, upper 70s. Chico, upper 70s. Cascades and Sierra Nevada. Heavy snowfall expected through the week and intensifying as the Pacific storm system arrives this weekend. The Northern Rockies, the Cascades, and the Sierra Nevada are going to see significant mountain snowfall. This is excellent news for the snowpack and water supply in the western states. Now let me summarize the key dates you need to remember, because this is a lot of information and I want to make sure you walk away knowing exactly what matters for you. March 17th through 19th. Arctic blast peaks in the east. Snow showers across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley and Pennsylvania. Gradual warming begins March 19th and 20th. Heat wave peaks in the southwest. All-time March records shattered across Nevada, Arizona, and California. Extreme heat warnings in effect. March 21st. Brief warm-up across the eastern states. Enjoy it. March 22nd and 23rd, backdoor cold front drives south. Snowfall for the northern Ohio Valley, northern Mid-Atlantic, Michigan, New York. Overnight snow for the Interstate 95 corridor, including New York City, northern New Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania, and southern New England. 2 to 6 inches possible on the European model, March 23rd and 24th. Cold air settles back in across the east. Pacific storm system brings winter conditions to the Pacific Northwest with strong winds off the Oregon coast up to 170 knots. March 25th, severe weather day, 70-knot low-level jet. Supercell thunderstorms possible from Oklahoma and Kansas through Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes all possible. Peak timing afternoon through evening Central Time. March 26th and 27th. Storm system pushes eastward, bringing thunderstorms to the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. Cold front drives south. Lake effect snow develops for the Great Lakes. Additional snowfall on the backside of the front for Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York late March. Another extended cold period possible in the east with 5 or more days of below normal temperatures. Additional snow chances for West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, and Southern Pennsylvania on the European model. Details subject to change at this range. Here is a quick reference for each region so you can plan your week at a glance. If you are in the Southwest, this is a dangerous heat event. Limit outdoor activity between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. Drink water before you feel thirsty. Never leave children or pets in parked vehicles. Check on elderly neighbors and relatives who may not have air conditioning. If you work outdoors, take frequent breaks in the shade. Carry a wet towel for your neck. The emergency rooms in Phoenix, Las Vegas, and the inland valleys of California will be busy this week with heat-related illness. Do not become one of those statistics if you are in the Central Plains from Texas to Iowa. Enjoy the warming trend this week, but start preparing now for severe weather next Wednesday. Identify your safe room or shelter location. If you have a storm cellar, make sure it is accessible and stocked with water, a flashlight, a weather radio, and a first aid kit. If you do not have a basement, the smallest interior room on the lowest floor is your best option. Closets and bathrooms with no exterior walls work well. Get under a sturdy piece of furniture and protect your head. Have a plan for where your family will go if a tornado warning is issued while you are at work, at school, or in the car. Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night is the window you need to be most alert if you are in the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. You are in the crosshairs for multiple events: snow showers today and tomorrow, a potential snowstorm Sunday night, thunderstorms Thursday as the severe weather system pushes through, and then possibly more snow late next week. Check your vehicles, make sure your windshield wiper fluid is topped off, make sure you have an ice scraper still accessible. Keep your winter coat and gloves handy for at least another 2 weeks if you are in the Northeast. Same as the Mid-Atlantic, with additional emphasis on the Sunday night snow event. 2 to 6 inches of wet, heavy March snow can bring down tree branches and power lines, especially when the trees have started to leaf out. If you have a generator, test it now. If you rely on medical equipment that needs electricity, have a battery backup plan. If you are in the Pacific Northwest, you are transitioning from a dry, mild pattern to a wet, stormy one by the weekend. The incoming Pacific system will bring rain, wind, and mountain snow. The Cascades and Olympics could see significant accumulations. If you are planning any mountain travel this weekend, carry chains and check pass conditions before you leave. The winds off the Oregon coast could reach 170 knots at the jet stream level, which translates to very rough seas and dangerous surf conditions. Coastal flooding is not out of the question. If you are in the southeast from Georgia down through Florida, you are in the most benign position this week. Temperatures are cool but moderating. No significant storm threats until potentially late next week when the moisture return could set up some activity. Enjoy the quiet weather while it lasts, because April is coming, and that traditionally marks the beginning of the most active, severe weather season in the southeast. Now, here is what I want you to take away from all of this. We are not in a normal March pattern. The seesaw between extreme heat in the west and repeated cold blasts in the east is locked in. The jet stream is amplified, meaning the peaks and valleys are exaggerated, and that means more extreme weather on both sides. If you are in the eastern half of the country, do not put away your winter gear yet. The European model is showing plowable snowfall potential through the end of March for areas that normally would be thinking about spring. If you are in the western half, especially the southwest, this heat wave is historic and dangerous. Stay hydrated, check on elderly neighbors, keep pets indoors during peak heat, and take it seriously. And if you live anywhere from Texas to the Great Lakes, keep a close eye on Wednesday, March 25th. That severe weather setup has the ingredients for a significant event. We will be updating the forecast daily as the models come into better agreement on the details. One more thing before we wrap up. I mentioned that meteor earlier, and some of you may have seen it. A meteor streaked across Pennsylvania and Ohio this morning. It was captured on the geostationary satellite lightning mapper, which detected the flash directly over the Cleveland and Akron area as it moved south. Social media was buzzing with reports. Just a wild addition to an already wild weather day. Remember, drop your city and state in the comments and I will give you your specific forecast. I read every comment and I respond to as many as I can. If you found this breakdown helpful, you know what to do. And here is what is coming in the next video. The models are starting to hint at what April might look like, and if you think March has been wild, there are some early signals that the first week of April could bring another major pattern shift. We are going to break that down in full detail, including what it means for severe weather season as we head into the heart of spring. You do not want to miss that one. Now, I want to go deeper on a few of these areas because the details matter when you are making decisions about travel, outdoor events, school activities, and just daily life. Let us talk about the Interstate 95 corridor specifically because that Sunday night snowstorm is going to catch a lot of people off guard. Think about it. Saturday is going to feel pretty decent. Temperatures recovering toward normal, people will be out shopping, going to restaurants, maybe playing golf, and then, less than 24 hours later, snow is falling on New York City. That kind of rapid transition is exactly what causes problems. People do not prepare because they do not believe it. So here is what I recommend. If you live anywhere from Washington, District of Columbia to Boston along that Interstate 95 corridor, treat Saturday as your preparation day. Make sure you have groceries. Make sure your phone is charged. Have a flashlight with fresh batteries. If you have travel plans for Sunday night or Monday morning, have a backup plan. Flights out of JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, Philadelphia International, Reagan National, and BWI could all see delays or cancellations Sunday night into Monday morning. If you are driving, know that late March snow is particularly dangerous because the ground temperatures during the day are warm enough to melt it, but overnight it refreezes into black ice. For the trucking and logistics industry, this could impact delivery schedules all along the eastern seaboard. The Interstate 80 corridor through Pennsylvania, the Interstate 70 corridor through Ohio and West Virginia, and of course Interstate 95 from Washington to Boston are all potentially impacted. Now let us talk about the agricultural implications because they are significant on both sides of this pattern. In the Southwest, this extreme heat is going to stress crops and livestock. Irrigation demands are going to spike. Anyone with outdoor animals needs to ensure adequate water and shade. Daytime highs above 100 degrees in March means the soil is losing moisture at a rate that is more typical of peak summer. Farmers and ranchers in Arizona, southern Nevada, and the inland valleys of California need to be thinking about heat stress protocols right now. On the eastern side, the late-season cold and snow could impact the spring planting timeline. If we get multiple rounds of cold air pushing temperatures 15 to 25 degrees below normal through the end of March, the soil temperature recovery gets pushed back. That matters for corn planting in the Midwest, for tobacco and hay in the Ohio Valley, and for fruit orchards in the Mid-Atlantic. If you have fruit trees that have already started to bud because of the warm start to March, this cold coming back could cause frost damage. That early bloom followed by a hard freeze is one of the worst scenarios for fruit production. Now here is a detail that homeowners across the eastern states need to think about. If you winterized your sprinkler system, great. Keep it winterized. If you already turned on outdoor faucets or irrigation for the spring, you may want to disconnect hoses and protect exposed pipes again this weekend, especially if you live in the Mid-Atlantic or Ohio Valley, where temperatures could drop below freezing multiple nights in a row next week. Frozen pipes in late March are not common, but they happen during patterns like this, and the repair costs are no joke. For school districts across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, that Sunday night snowstorm could mean Monday morning delays or closures. Spring break schedules vary by district, so check with your local school system. Some areas could be facing a snow day in late March, which would be remarkable. Sports schedules, outdoor practices, and spring events could all be impacted. Youth baseball leagues and track and field teams that just started their spring seasons could see postponements. Allergy sufferers, there is a silver lining for you in the eastern states. This cold blast is going to knock down the pollen counts significantly. Tree pollen had been ramping up during the warm start to March, and this cold will freeze that progression in its tracks. Expect relief this week, but when the warmth returns, the pollen will come back with a vengeance. Be ready for that rebound. Pet owners across the Southwest, please remember that pavement temperatures can be 20 to 30 degrees hotter than the air temperature. When the air is 106 in Phoenix, the asphalt can be 130 degrees or more. That will burn your dog's paws in seconds. Walk your pets early in the morning or late in the evening. Carry water for them. And if you cannot hold the back of your hand on the pavement for 5 seconds, it is too hot for your pet. Let me also address the energy implications. Natural gas demand in the eastern states is going to remain elevated well beyond the normal end of heating season. Electric utilities in the Southwest are going to see air conditioning loads that are unprecedented for March. The grid stress on both sides of the country is real. And speaking of the grid, those Chinook winds in Montana deserve special attention. Widespread 40 to 50 knot gusts with localized gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour near Cut Bank and Browning can knock down power lines and cause outages in rural areas. If you live in northern Montana, keep your generator fueled and have a plan for extended power outages. These winds are a multi-day event, not just a quick burst, which means the cumulative stress on infrastructure is significant. Let me give you one more fascinating detail about the atmospheric dynamics at play right now. Remember when I mentioned those steep lapse rates over Pennsylvania and Ohio? The visible satellite imagery today is showing extensive open-cell cumulus clouds, shallow cumulonimbus, and towering cumulus being spread out in a low layer. This is the visual signature of convective instability. The atmosphere is churning from the surface to about 18,000 feet. That layer from the surface up to about 10,000 feet is what meteorologists call dry adiabatic, meaning it is about as unstable as the atmosphere can possibly get. If there were more moisture available, we would be seeing thunderstorms. Instead, that instability is manifesting as intense snow showers. It is a rare atmospheric setup that you do not see very often, and it is a reminder that even in a snow event, the atmosphere can behave in wild and unexpected ways. And while we are talking about unexpected atmospheric events, let me circle back to that meteor that streaked across Pennsylvania and Ohio earlier today. Social media was absolutely buzzing with reports. The meteor was captured by the geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite Lightning Mapper, which is a sensor designed to detect lightning flashes. It picked up the flash from the meteor directly over the Cleveland and Akron area as it moved southward. When you see a meteor register on a lightning detection satellite, you know it was bright. Eyewitness reports described a brilliant streak lasting several seconds, followed by what some described as a rumbling sound. If you saw it, you were witnessing a chunk of space rock burning up in the atmosphere at tens of thousands of miles per hour. Pretty incredible addition to an already incredible weather day. One other thing I want to mention. The spring equinox arrives Friday, March 20th. That is the official start of astronomical spring. The sun will be directly over the equator, and we will have roughly 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. After Friday, the days continue getting longer across the entire northern hemisphere. More daylight hours mean more solar heating, which gradually tilts the scales toward warmer temperatures. But as we are seeing right now, the atmosphere does not flip a switch just because the calendar says spring. The pattern is what it is, and right now the pattern says winter is not done fighting for the eastern United States. In fact, meteorological spring actually started on March 1st, and look at what we have gotten since then. Record warmth in the first half of the month, immediately followed by an Arctic blast and snow showers, with more snowstorms and cold air on the way. March truly is the battleground month, where winter and spring wage war, and this year that battle is playing out in dramatic fashion. So remember, the spring equinox is a calendar milestone, not a weather guarantee. Plan accordingly. Let me now return to the severe weather discussion for next week because I want to make sure you understand the specific threats. When I say severe weather for Wednesday, March 25th, I'm talking about three primary threats: tornadoes, large hail, and damaging straight-line winds. Let me explain what makes this setup particularly concerning. The low-level jet at 70 knots is an exceptionally strong moisture transport mechanism. It is pulling warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico and forcing it northward at highway speeds. When that warm, moist air collides with the cold air behind the advancing cold front, the atmosphere becomes explosively unstable. The wind shear profile, the change in wind speed and direction with height, is the key ingredient for supercell thunderstorms and tornadoes. When you have south-southwesterly winds at the surface and strong westerly or northwesterly winds aloft, the atmosphere gets a spin on it. That horizontal spin gets tilted into the vertical by strong updrafts, and that is how supercell thunderstorms and tornadoes form. The triple point I mentioned earlier, where the warm front, cold front, and occlusion meet, is historically one of the most favored locations for significant tornadoes. Storm chasers know this. Emergency managers know this. If that triple point sets up over central Kansas or Missouri on Wednesday afternoon, the tornado risk in that area becomes very real. Here is the hour-by-hour breakdown for the severe weather threat on Wednesday, March 25th, with more specificity. 6 in the morning to noon Central Time. The warm sector expands across Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Oklahoma. Surface temperatures climb into the mid-60s to low 70s. Dew points surge into the upper 50s and low 60s as the low-level jet pumps moisture northward. Morning clouds may limit surface heating initially, but breaks of sunshine in the warm sector will destabilize the atmosphere rapidly. Visible satellite imagery will be critical during this window. If you see clearing in the warm sector during the morning, that is a sign that the afternoon storms will be more intense. Noon to 2 in the afternoon Central Time. The cap weakens. The cap is a layer of warm air aloft that acts like a lid on the atmosphere, preventing storms from firing. When that lid breaks, storms erupt violently. Initial cells may develop along the warm front across central Iowa into northern Missouri. These could be discrete supercells, which are the type most likely to produce tornadoes. 2 to 5 in the afternoon Central Time. This is the peak danger window. Supercell thunderstorms become established and track northeast across Iowa, Missouri, and into Illinois. Large hail up to the size of golf balls or larger possible. Wind gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour. Tornado threat is maximized during this window, especially near the triple point. Cities in the crosshairs during the peak window. Des Moines, Iowa. Kansas City, Missouri. Columbia, Missouri. Jefferson City, Missouri. Topeka, Kansas. Omaha, Nebraska. Springfield, Missouri. Sedalia, Missouri. Marshall, Missouri. Chillicothe, Missouri. 5 to 9 in the evening Central Time. Storms begin to congeal into a squall line as they move eastward. The tornado threat diminishes somewhat as the storms merge, but damaging straight-line winds become the primary threat. Wind gusts of 60 to 80 miles per hour possible along the squall line. This line pushes through central and eastern Missouri, across Illinois, and approaches Indiana. Cities affected during the evening: St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois, Decatur, Illinois, Quincy, Illinois, Jacksonville, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, Hannibal, Missouri, Macomb, Illinois. 9 in the evening to 3 in the morning Thursday Central Time. The squall line continues eastward across Indiana and into western Ohio. Heavy rain and gusty winds. Flash flooding becomes an additional concern. Damaging wind gusts still possible but gradually weakening. Cities affected overnight: Indianapolis, Indiana, Terre Haute, Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana, Muncie, Indiana, Anderson, Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana, Richmond, Indiana, Springfield, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. I cannot stress this enough. If you live in any of these areas, have a severe weather plan before Wednesday arrives. Know where your safe room is. If you live in a mobile home, identify a sturdy building nearby where you can shelter. Make sure your weather radio has fresh batteries. Download a reliable weather app and enable alerts for your county. Do not wait until Wednesday afternoon to figure this out. Do it now. And for those of you in the southeast, you are not entirely in the clear either. As the squall line moves eastward through Thursday, it will eventually push into the Tennessee Valley and the southern Appalachians. While the severe threat will be diminishing, strong gusty winds and heavy rain could still cause problems. Cities in the southeast to monitor Thursday: Nashville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, Knoxville, Tennessee, Asheville, North Carolina. Now here is a detail that I think is genuinely fascinating and shows just how extreme this pattern is. Let me paint this picture for you. On Wednesday, March 25th, while supercell thunderstorms are roaring across the plains and tornadoes are possible in Kansas and Iowa, the Cascade Mountains and Sierra Nevada in the west are getting buried under heavy snowfall from the incoming Pacific storm. Meanwhile, the remnants of the heat wave are still lingering across parts of Arizona with temperatures near 100 degrees, and the eastern seaboard is licking its wounds from the Sunday night snowstorm just 2 days earlier. In other words, on a single day in late March, you could have snow in the mountains of Oregon, triple-digit heat in Arizona, tornadoes in Kansas, and people in New York City still shoveling snow from 2 days ago. That is the kind of weather diversity that makes the United States one of the most meteorologically complex nations on Earth. And that is why I do this every single day, breaking it down so you do not have to. Let me give you a few more cities I have not mentioned yet because I know some of you are still waiting for your area. Hawaii, Honolulu, Oahu, mostly typical trade wind conditions, highs around 82. Maui, similar. Big Island of Hawaii, Hilo side could see some passing showers. Kona Coast, sunny and dry around 84. Alaska. Anchorage, temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s. Fairbanks, teens to low 20s. Juneau, upper 30s. The interior of Alaska is actually running above normal for this time of year, which is notable. Upper New England in more detail. Burlington, Vermont, low 30s today. Snow Sunday into Monday, potentially 4 to 7 inches. Montpelier, Vermont, upper 20s, same snow potential. Portland, Maine, low 40s, snow chances late Sunday. Bangor, Maine, upper 30s. Concord, New Hampshire, low 40s, snow Sunday night 2 to 5 inches. Manchester, New Hampshire, low 40s, same. The ski resorts across Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine are actually going to benefit from this late season snow. Killington, Stowe, Sunday River, Sugarloaf, all of these could see a nice refresh on the slopes just when they thought the season was winding down. The Deep South in more detail. New Orleans, Louisiana, warming into the upper 60s and 70s by the weekend. Dry and pleasant. Mobile, Alabama, similar. Pensacola, Florida, upper 60s. Biloxi, Mississippi, upper 60s. Not much severe weather expected down here this week, but the moisture return ahead of next week as system could change that rapidly. The Northern Rockies. Missoula, Montana, windy with Chinook influence, 50s to 60s. Bozeman, Montana, 50s with gusts. Jackson, Wyoming, upper 40s. West Yellowstone, Montana, 40s with diminishing snowpack. Let me also mention something about the Madden-Julian oscillation because it is part of what is driving this pattern. The Madden-Julian oscillation is currently just barely in phase 8. That phase is associated with a slight increase in tornado risk across the southern plains and warm, dry conditions in the southwest. Sound familiar? That is exactly what we are seeing. The Madden-Julian oscillation is a tropical atmospheric wave that circles the globe and influences weather patterns worldwide. It is one of the tools that long-range forecasters use to anticipate shifts in the jet stream. Right now, it is in a phase that supports exactly the kind of amplified ridge in the west and active storm track across the central states that we are forecasting for next week. Now, let me give you some additional travel planning information because I know many of you are making plans for this coming week and weekend. If you are flying through any of the major hub airports this weekend and into next week, here is what you need to know. Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta International should be mostly clear through the weekend. Possible delays Thursday due to storms moving through Georgia. Chicago O'Hare International. Relatively quiet through the weekend. Potential delays Wednesday evening as the squall line approaches. Dallas-Fort Worth International. Good conditions through the weekend as the heat builds. Watch for possible thunderstorm delays by midweek next week. Denver International. Mostly clear all week. One of the safer bets for travel. Los Angeles International. Clear and hot through Friday. Good flying weather despite the extreme heat on the ground. John F. Kennedy International in LaGuardia in New York. Good through Saturday. Sunday night into Monday morning could see significant delays or cancellations due to snowfall. If you have a Monday morning flight out of New York, consider rebooking for Monday afternoon or Tuesday. Newark Liberty International, same as New York, Sunday night into Monday morning is the danger zone. Philadelphia International, same window of concern, Sunday night into Monday. Minneapolis-St. Paul International, cold but mostly clear after tonight as snow showers. San Francisco International, good conditions through midweek, then possible rain delays as the Pacific storm approaches this weekend. Seattle-Tacoma International, deteriorating conditions by the weekend as the Pacific storm arrives. Rain and wind could cause delays. For road travelers, the most concerning corridors next week are Interstate 95 from Washington to Boston, Sunday night and Monday. Interstate 70 and Interstate 76 through Pennsylvania and Ohio, especially Thursday and beyond. Interstate 80 through Pennsylvania, watch for snow Thursday night into Friday. Interstate 90 through upstate New York and the Great Lakes, lake effect snow could reduce visibility significantly. Interstate 35 through Kansas and Iowa. Wednesday, severe thunderstorms could close highway sections. Interstate 70 through Kansas and Missouri Wednesday, same severe threat. If you are planning a road trip across the country, the southern route through Interstate 10 and Interstate 20 is probably your safest bet through midweek, although the extreme heat in the southwest means you should carry extra water and check your vehicle cooling system before crossing Arizona. Now, before I wrap up, let me address a question I know many of you have. You are wondering, is this normal? Is this what climate change looks like? Or is this just weather being weather? Here is what I will say. Weather patterns like this, where you get extreme heat on one side of the country and extreme cold on the other, have happened before. The jet stream has always been wavy, But what is notable about this particular event is the magnitude. All-time March records being broken by significant margins. 106 degrees in Phoenix in mid-March. Plowable snowfall for the Interstate 95 corridor in late March. 70-knot low-level jets setting up severe weather events. These are not subtle variations. These are extreme excursions, and whether you attribute that to natural variability, climate trends, or some combination of both, the practical reality for you and your family is the same. You need to be prepared. This pattern of warm in the west and cold in the east has actually been the dominant theme for the past 6 to 9 months. It was the standard through the fall, through the winter, and now into the spring. There were breaks, warmer periods in February and the beginning of March, but the baseline keeps reasserting itself. Ridge west, trough east. That is the pattern, and it does not look like it is going away anytime soon. Now, here is one final point I want to make about model disagreement because it is important for you to understand. The European model and the GFS model, which are the two primary models used for weather forecasting in the United States, are not in complete agreement on the second half of this pattern. The European model is the one showing those snowfall opportunities for the Interstate 95 corridor, for the Ohio Valley, and for the Mid-Atlantic. It is showing 2 to 6 inches for many areas, with some spots getting 6 to 10 inches across multiple events. It is showing the warm west, cold east pattern persisting through the end of March. The GFS model has a different idea. It wants to bring more Arctic air into the west instead of the east. That would mean more snowfall in the interior mountain west, but less snow for the big eastern cities. The GFS says the interior mid-Atlantic and interior northeast would still see snow, but the coastal cities like Washington District of Columbia, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston would see basically nothing. Which model is right? We will not know for sure for several more days, but here's what I will tell you. The European model has generally been more reliable at longer time ranges, which is why forecasters often give it more weight. The GFS tends to be more volatile, changing its solutions more dramatically from run to run. So the European model scenario of late March snow for the eastern cities is the one I am watching more closely, but I am not dismissing the GFS either. This is exactly why you need to keep watching these daily updates. The models will come into better agreement over the next 3 to 5 days, and when they do, I will give you the definitive forecast. But right now, if you live east of the Mississippi River, the message is clear. Do not put away your winter gear. Do not assume spring is here to stay. March has a lot more to say. Now here is your teaser for the next video. The European model is starting to show some very interesting signals for the first week of April. There are hints, and I emphasize hints because we are talking about 2 weeks out, that the pattern may finally start to shift. The ridge in the west may weaken, which could bring relief from the heat, but what replaces it could be even more significant. There are early indications of a more progressive pattern that could set up a major severe weather outbreak in the first week of April across the southern and central plains. We are talking about the kind of setup that makes storm chasers start booking hotel rooms. I will have the full breakdown in the next video, including what it means for Easter weekend weather if you are planning outdoor activities. Do not forget to comment with your city and state for your personalized forecast update. I will be in the comments section responding throughout the day and into tomorrow. If your neighbor, your coworker, or your family member lives in any of the areas I mentioned today, share this with them. Information saves lives, especially when severe